Hey everybody, what's up? It's Luna here, making a message about all the things that is going on in the political field right now. I've been analyzing this, and guys, I just want to say that whether you believe me or not, I predicted a lot of stuff about Donald Trump. Before he even went in the White House, I knew that the foreign trades would be a shamble. It would be a mess. As soon as he went in the White House, Mexico didn't want to sign a trade agreement with him. Finally, I thought to myself, if they could just offer some kind of immigration and Donald Trump could offer some kind of help, then he would look good, and then Pino Nieto would sign the trade agreement. They were trying to make a statement about not wanting Donald Trump in the White House, knowing that he was a threat to Mexicans, okay, because he was racist. Because of the comments and what he did with Jorge Ramos, they didn't want him in the White House. He made a horrible comment about the judge in California. Let's not forget, okay, the judge in the Supreme Court in California that saw the Trump University claim, he claimed he was a fraud, and the judge knew Donald Trump was a fraud. It was a fraudulent university. Obviously, he's a criminal, he's a crook, or he wouldn't have started up some university. If you cannot run a university, Donald Trump, you cannot run a country, okay, at all, okay? You told that judge he should be deported to Mexico, and he is a United States citizen born in this country. That shows you're ignorant, okay? Second of all, you couldn't even get a neighboring country to sign a trade agreement. How in the world are you going to negotiate with other countries? That was my other thought as soon as this was unfolding. I had on my Facebook page a picture of Argentina, and Iran is Argentina's ally, saying Trump equals Hitler. Okay, now in Iran they are calling Donald Trump Hitler. I also predicted that he would start war. He's going to start a war with China. That's what he is working on, is starting a war, turning our allies into our enemies. Okay, he is bullying China around. He made this huge trade war, which in the end is going to cost America money. China's like, okay, here goes your shipments to America. Let's increase the price. Okay, now America depends on China's products right now, unfortunately, because Donald Trump hasn't got us completely dependent on the United States. First of all, you would have thought he would have moved the jobs here first in the manufacturing companies and made us in charge of all of that before he ever thought about going to war with China with the trade war. It is not just a trade war, everybody. America is getting pretty hostile over in the South China Sea, and it is provoking China. And China wants peace. They do not want to go to war with the United States because Donald Trump, in his mind, he thinks, well, we are always, China knows that they depend on us. They depend on us. That's what they do. They're going to always need us. They're going to need America. That's not true. There comes a point when people get tired of being bullied and they get tired of being disrespected. Okay, Australia cannot stand Donald Trump from what I researched. He disrespected the Queen of England. He mocked a disabled person. There was a disabled reporter and he mocked him. He disrespected him. He made fun of him. When Donald Trump did that right there, making fun of the disabled reporter, that showed he was ignorant, okay? The man has no negotiation skills. He's got everybody in America deceived. Okay, now he is making a mess out of Israel. He is sitting there saying, according to the video from Israel itself, saying that he wanted to give up part of Israel to Palestine. I would have deployed the United States military over to Palestine alongside Israel's defense team, and I would have straightened it out. There wouldn't have been a question in my mind. Now we've got Russia. He's now starting up with Russia. He's sitting here saying, well, I'm pulling out of this treaty right here so I can build the biggest, most horrible weapons so us and Russia can sit there and make a competition about who can build the biggest missiles. Then we can make the biggest war so we can destroy Russia and America. Or we can go to war with China and destroy China and America. If you launch an airstrike on Russia, I know what Vladimir Putin's going to do. He is going to launch an airstrike on American soil, and America's going to be sorry. Why should we even go to that extreme? Why are we making war, Donald Trump, and why are we not making peace? That is my question to you. Do you really think in your mind that building all these nuclear weapons that you're wanting to engineer, okay, and going to competition with Russia and China on who can build the biggest, baddest military technology is making America great again? Do you really think that? I don't think so. That trade war was not what you should have started with. You should have started with taking jobs back to Detroit, Michigan. You should have started with working on America's infrastructure problems, which is homelessness and drug epidemic. You should have started working on the drug epidemic, closing down the United States border. I agree with that. Was my idea a long time ago. Okay? It needed to be secure, but what about an immigration reform? Okay, you've got millions of people in this country that doesn't even belong here, and we don't even know the good people or the bad people. Keep the good people here, get rid of the bad people. Without an immigration reform, you're never going to do it. What are you going to start, mass deportations? I mean, you took away the DREAM Act, okay, and that was the worst thing you could have ever done. All I've seen you do since you've been in the White House, everybody in America is deceived. You talk about you buy prostitutes, you disrespect your wife, you disrespect disabled people, you got the Democrats on a chain gang, basically, okay, dragging them around, disrespecting them. You've got a huge war going on when you don't even see what's going on in America is that we got a drug epidemic that needs to be dealt with. Instead of putting people in jail, you need to put them in treatment facilities, mandatory, every time they get caught, okay? And another thing is, the infrastructure is falling because of the drug addiction, and there's a lot of homeless people. A lot of them are veterans because the veterans should have had a free home to begin with after they came to war. The VA is a bunch of garbage. Okay, all the veterans know the VA is a pile of crap. If you was deployed out of this country, you should have a free condo in your name and build them into military retirement homes and take the veterans off the street and treat their PTSD. Okay, they have addiction because it's a symptom of the illness of PTSD. That is how they treat it, because they are homeless and they're on the side of the street and they are stressed and they got combat PTSD. If you would get them off the streets and then focus on treating their PTSD and then help them, you might have a better success rate, because obviously what's going on in America is not helping America. America is falling down, okay? All these countries are starting about, like Venezuela, stopping using the United States dollar, okay? America is Mystery Babylon thanks to Donald Trump, okay? Everybody in this country I talk to, he's the greatest president. Everybody's up jumping around. You know, they don't care. Let's blow China up. Yeah, blow them off the maps. What did China do to the United States of America? For God's sakes, they're building a fake moon and putting it up in outer space, okay, to light their country at night, okay, to cut down on using the Earth's natural resources, okay? I think I would leave China the hell alone. If they got the technology to launch a fake moon up into the solar system, up into outer space to light their country, then I might want to leave these people alone. I might want to work with them and see if I could go build another planet instead of working against them. Maybe we could build a fake sun and put it on Europa. Since the humans and the militaries destroyed the planets, we can all move to Europa. Why don't you try to build another planet, okay, and work together? Why don't you fix this one first and quit throwing your trash all over the ground? Okay, that's all everybody does in America is throw garbage on the side of the street. They have no respect for the earth. They don't care. Go over to North Korea. Do you see trash all over the ground? Go over to China. Do you see all this trash on the ground? No. Only us Americans. I don't. Other people do. I mean, yes, I'm criticizing people because it is laziness. There's trash cans everywhere, and we don't even have to empty those trash cans. There's no excuse for it, okay? There is no excuse why there's all these homeless people whenever we could build small little bitty homes and make them sign a lease and make them agree to go back to work and go to counseling and budget counseling and work on America's infrastructure problem. It's getting bigger and bigger, and it's crumbling and crumbling. Okay, there is more middle-class people becoming addicted to drugs, which then results in homelessness, along with the veterans. That is all I've noticed since I've been out on these streets, is America's problems and what the real threats are. Donald Trump, if you was making America great again, you're just making wars, okay? That is all you're doing, is making wars, okay? There is no reason for you to be sitting there starting this up in the first place, because it's complete ignorance, Donald Trump. You are so rich. You don't know what it's like to suffer. You have no idea whatsoever what America's problems is and what it needs to be made great again. In the United States military, I feel bad for you people. I've wrote you, I've emailed, I've called, I signed the paper to impeach Donald Trump. Now I'm pushing the United States military to impeach Donald Trump, okay? And you want to know my opinion? They say Russia interfered with the election. Of course they did, because Russia voted for us to have the worst president in the history of the United States of America. All the other countries sat back in awe, okay, looking at our country with us with the man in the White House that disrespects other countries, disabled people, disrespects females, talks about he's making America great again. It is the opposite of that. And I don't care if Donald Trump supporters gets mad at this. Pretty soon you're going to be crying like a little baby needing a pacifier whenever we go to war. And so is the United States military. You're over there listening to Donald Trump. You're over there bullying China up in the sea, talking about the United States, talking about we don't need China, let's blow them off the map. That's what Donald Trump supporters say. Where are you going to get your products from? Last time I checked, most of our products come from China, okay? And Donald Trump is successfully making them angry, thinking they'll never strike back. They're never going to go to war with us. We can treat China however we want. What happened to respect? Okay, what happened with caring about other countries? What happened with working with other countries? We should be working with other countries trying to fix the world. Why don't the United States military, instead of digging around in China, go build a barge and skim up the island full of trash in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? That's what you can do. Go clean the trash out of the ocean and quit digging around in other countries' business. Okay, I believe that if somebody has smart enough negotiation skills, unlike Donald Trump, we wouldn't even be sitting here in the situation America's in right now with these foreign relationships. I predicted he was going to destroy America. He's going to mess up our foreign trades, mess up our foreign policies, mess up our foreign relationships, and he has done every single bit of that. I predicted Iran, calling him Hitler. I predicted all of this. I predicted the racism. All the migrants are coming through the border trying to get in America before the wall is constructed and built. He's more worried about putting the military on the border than protecting the military and keeping them from going to war with these other countries. I do not see that Donald Trump has the military in his best interest. Do you know how many lives are going to be sacrificed if we go to war with Russia or China? It's not going to be like Afghanistan, people. It's not going to be like other countries. It's going to be a lot of bloodshed and a lot of destruction to both countries. I mean, we are talking about two countries getting destroyed here. Okay, Vladimir Putin knows that if he goes to war with America, okay, what is going to happen? He already knows that. That it's going to be destructive to humanity as we know it. But I can guarantee you, if the United States gets hasty with him, he is not going to care. Okay? I am sick and tired of people not wanting to impeach Donald Trump. You need to wake up and get your head out of your ass, because America's dollar is going to collapse because of this trade war. It's going to cost us more money for Chinese products. It's going to cost other countries more money. And instead of fixing the poverty in other countries, we're making poverty in the countries that are already rich, because people ain't going to be able to afford this stuff. Australia's worried to death about it. I mean, how many times do I have to tell you? You've got Iran that hates Donald Trump that's mad. He disrespected Iran. He's disrespecting China. He's got China not happy with the United States. He's disrespecting Russia from the get-go. He basically stands up at the White House and he doesn't care what he does for America. Do you think he cares if your son or your daughter gets blown up? Do you think he cares if your daddy's gone off to war and he might not come home? No, Donald Trump don't think about that. Donald Trump suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. He has a mental disorder. And I'm sorry, but Americans need to wake up and see. All you Donald Trump supporters pretty soon are going to be signing to impeach him your damn selves. Okay? And Donald Trump, yes, you are Vladimir Putin's puppet because they put you in the White House. You conspire with Vladimir Putin. I know you did in Russia. You conspire with people in Russia at the beginning of the election, and you were all up their butt, okay? They voted for the best, let me tell you, okay? Russia voted for the best, Donald Trump. You know, I'm really sad that everybody in America believes all of Donald Trump's lies and all of his bull crap. It ain't nothing but a bunch of deceit, a bunch of lies. He's nothing but a criminal. That's what he is. He can obstruct justice. I'd be in prison. I already knew about his taxes. Before I even looked it up, I knew he wrote off charitable contributions, and then he didn't donate, and he pocketed the money. Okay, he writes off all these losses in his business, and he pockets the money. That's considered tax fraud. When he met Vladimir Putin, and when he met him the last time, he committed treason. Okay, so we got obstructing justice. He's committed treason. Okay, he obstructs justice every day, and he's committed tax fraud. No president in the history of the United States has been such a criminal as Donald Trump. Okay, just like Trump University was the biggest scam ever. Donald Trump is a scam artist, okay? If we leave him in America, our country's going to fall down. I'm going to get my passport, and I'm going to the Caribbean very shortly. I'm just going to have my passport on hand so I can leave my own country, because I'm ashamed. Donald Trump, you're an embarrassment, okay? To other, you talk about buying prostitutes. How in the world could anybody in their right mind be proud of somebody? I know he's a representation of America and what America's become, but man, I don't know. I'm just going off right now. I'm going off because I'm not happy with America. I feel bad for the United States military. I feel bad for everybody in America because nobody's got sense enough to wake up. Okay, if I was the military, I'd be signing that petition and drag his ass out of the White House by the hair of the head. But they got the devil in their head, the military. They're so hard-headed. They won't listen to a civilian. They won't listen to anybody, okay? They fight for freedom. This time they're fighting for bloodshed, okay? Everybody better pray to Jesus that we do not go into war with China or Russia or Iran. And help Israel and do better things, America. Because trust me, okay, you're gonna regret it. What I'm telling you, I have predicted everything about Donald Trump, even down to his taxes, and I was right. So, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna put it in Jesus' hands, and I'm gonna let this whole thing unfold, okay? And I just sit back and I'm gonna watch it, and I listen to people talk, and I listen to Donald Trump supporters, and I can't believe the things that comes out of their mouth. He's the best president we ever did have. Yep. Well, you think it's just liberals that has that opinion? I am a liberal, but I'm more Republican than Democrat ever thought of being, okay? And I'm ashamed of my country's representation party, Trump. Get him out of the White House. He is the worst president ever. You're all going to be sorry soon. All going to be sorry.